Leatherman Surge and the Bibury BLT Pro, let's just call it the Leatherman Surge clone. The Surge is by far significantly more comfortable and nice to use multi-tool. Granted, it's $150, and the Bibury BLT Pro is a really nice multi-tool. I've had a really nice time using, enjoyed a lot over the last week. I've used it a bunch, fixed some things that I hadn't fixed in a long time that needed to, and the Bibury came in clutch. And here's the thing, the Bibury costs $40. I am so happy with this Bibury. I'm over the moon excited because I didn't have a lot of faith in it. I thought, oh, it's a knockoff, it's a piece of junk, it's just gonna not be great, and didn't really honestly know what to expect from it. And it has been a real treat to use. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect, and I've been very, very happy with it. Now here, let me bring these together about equal. You can see the Bibury seems to be a drop beefier, a drop thicker. One of my biggest issues with multi-tools is the squeeze test, and when I squeeze these together, they both have a tiny bit of movement, but neither has very much movement at all when I squeeze. You can see the bottoms coming together a little bit with a little bit of movement, but it's minuscule. So I'm gonna give them both a big old pass on that. I really think both of them are beefy tools. Now let me just get into the list that I have. One big thing for me with multi-tools is I like them to be one-handed opening. And the Surge is definitely capable of one-handed opening. I can get it open and then I can flick it. It'll end up being off screen, but one flick and it's done. Now, on the other hand, this Bibury BLT Pro is definitely not one-handed opening at this point. It's so hard to try and get that open. Okay, got it. And then I can do one flick, and that was a hard flick, got it this far open. And now I'll just turn it around and squeeze like that. So it is possible. I think it's getting a little bit easier after I've been breaking in the Bibury, but the Surge is from day one has been one-handed opening. Now my next point, their knives are ultra sharp, but I do think the Bibury, the knife on it was just a tad sharper, and I couldn't tell on paper. I could only tell when I was cutting some cardboard. I did that silly toilet paper roll test, and the Bibury cut the toilet paper roll a little easier and more smoothly than the Leatherman than the Leatherman Surge. Now, they're both ridiculously sharp. I would perform surgery with both of them and it wouldn't be a problem. But the Bibury might be a hair sharper. I'm gonna focus on the Leatherman for a second. The metal, this may sound funny and this may be me being really nitpicky, but the Leatherman Surge, the metal feels better in your hand. There's more of it. I don't like this skeletonized handle here on all four sides. The Leatherman just feels better in the hand. The metal feels better. It's crisper. I don't have the right words, I guess, to explain this, but just opening and closing it, it feels a little bit gritty and crisp and fresh, and the Bibury just doesn't feel that same way. So I'm going to definitely give this one to the Surge. The Surge also, this might be silly, but the Surge is a way better sheath in that, let me pull the accessory out, but I like the snap. I don't love the Velcro for day-to-day use, but the Leatherman does have a pocket back here for things, a pocket up here for things. Then it has the regular elastic up here, and then there's also a pocket here, I don't know, pocket, but a loop to put a pen, pencil, some tools through. And then on this side, it has a loop also, and it's easily fit a pencil, but I think you could fit a really small flashlight or a Sharpie easily in here. So I will give it to the Leatherman, much better case, much better sheath. The Bibury does have pockets on the side, but they're not all that high quality. I don't love them. It does carry the accessories there, and you can fit a pencil in here, pen, Sharpie, probably even a small flashlight, no problem. It doesn't have any of the pockets inside here though, but it does have this elastic on the outside to fit the bits that come with the Bibury. And we're back from talking about the sheaths. I will say the scissors on the Surge are a little bit better, not a whole lot better, but a little better. And can I just say, look at hang on, let me open the Bibury scissors. The metal on the Surge just looks higher quality. It looks better. Yeah, this is glossy on the Bibury, but this matte finish just looks amazing on the Surge. I really prefer the feel of these scissors versus the Bibury scissors. And I think the Bibury scissors are bigger, but the Surge scissors just seem better. I'm gonna try to explain this, and I hope I'm not going off on a tangent here, but when you push the scissors here, you can feel the blades coming together the whole way through as you depress the lever back here. On the Bibury scissors, you can only feel the blades coming together from about here forward, from about here on. So I'm sure they're cutting, and if you had a piece of paper it wouldn't be a problem, but a thin thread or a piece of paper that went in this way instead of straight in, it wouldn't cut it as well, I don't think. So is it a problem? Probably not. Will I ever notice a real difference? Maybe not, but I just want everyone to know that the scissors on the Surge are definitely better. Again, it's a $150 multi-tool versus a $40 multi-tool. Next thing about the Surge is it doesn't come with as many accessories. When you buy it, it literally only came with the one T-shank adapter, and it's the file, and it's a very nice file. I've messed with it a little. I really like that file. Super high quality, but it only came with that, whereas the Bibury comes with two separate T-shank adapter blades, saws, and then all these 1/4 inch bits. And let me pull them out and show you what they are. You have a couple of security bits here, 3, and this one in particular fits my Leatherman mutt, so it'll take that apart. And I should really check, it'll probably fit the Surge also, and I think that's just hilarious that Bibury sends these security bits with. Then it has the rest of these bits that you can see. I'm not going to just talk about them endlessly. Leatherman Surge comes with fewer accessories, and that's fine, but at $150 maybe it should come with more accessories. Anyways, let's talk about the Bibury for a minute. The T-shank adapter is phenomenal. It was a little bit difficult for me to figure out how it comes apart at first, but the key is to use this little lip right here. Anybody worried about this, trying to figure it out in the future, use this little lip right here, or tab, and you just push back. And the very first time I did that, it was difficult, I will say. It was not nearly as easy as it is now. The next thing is the knife is extremely sharp on the Bibury. I mean, it's dangerous sharp. I was able to cut straight through cardboard, no problem. The toilet paper roll, no problem. I mean, it cut it like butter. I was so impressed. I've said this before on this channel, and I'll say it again. It's just funny, these knives just keep getting sharper, but I think this is the sharpest knife I've ever gotten on a tool straight out of the box. One negative thing about the Bibury, and it's not so much a negative, is just experience, and it just needs a lot more breaking in than the Leatherman Surge. The Surge just from straight out of the box was ready to go. The Biburys needed a lot more breaking in to get the tools open and closed easily. The scissors have been a little bit of a learning curve, because you open them, well, there, it did it. A lot of the time when I go and I open it like this, holding it from the top, I stop there. Well, they don't pop open. You have to go a drop farther, and then they pop right open. No problem, not a big deal in the slightest. It just is the way it is. One big thing about the Bibury I don't like at all is that it's not one-handed opening. And I know I spoke about this already, but it's such a big deal, I will talk about it again, because I really don't like that I basically always need two hands to get the Bibury open. It drives me nuts. I want to be able to do it with one hand. And I think if Bibury spent some time talking to customers or just doing some more R&D, they'd figure out that they could use some of these openings here, the skeletonized handle, to make it so you could flick it open maybe with middle finger here, or even a spot for your pinky down here, and then ring finger or middle finger here to get some grip and separate them. I also, you know, pinky hold here, and then somewhere like using your thumb here to open it. It's just, it really bugs me that it's not one-handed opening. It's too hard to get open that first little bit. And I've sat and watched TV a couple of times now at night and just fiddled with this, trying to open it and close it 1,000 times to break it in and loosen it up, and it just hasn't worked. I will admit, I even put a little bit of WD-40 on it, and maybe it helped a drop, but not enough. It's a big problem for me that it's not one-handed opening, but I might be able to look past it, because the price of $40 versus $150, that is a huge difference. All right, next thing to talk about is the tools inside. They're basically the same. I mean, really, they are almost identical. Let's just open this and get them all out. That's the Bibury. And okay, let's just do this by the numbers. There's a screwdriver and a screwdriver on the Bibury. This is a 1/4 inch. This is the flat Leatherman proprietary tools. I'll jump to this. There's a bottle opener, can opener, bottle opener, can opener on the Bibury. There's an awl on the Leatherman. There's an awl on the Bibury. There's a wider and a narrower flathead screwdriver on the Leatherman here, and there's a wider and a narrower screwdriver on the Bibury. So these are all the same. These tools are identical, but the Bibury has a full-size 1/4 inch bit driver. Way better, way better in my opinion. Is it perfect? No. It is these double-headed, double-sided ones, which is nice, except if you put a standard size 1/4 inch bit in here, it just drops down and barely sticks out like that much. So is it ideal? No, definitely not, but it works. And the Bibury came with all of these accessories, all of those bits. Now let's wrap up this review. I absolutely adore this Leatherman Surge. It's a Leatherman. It is the iconic brand, what every other tool wants to be when it comes to multi-tools. And this is the Surge, not even the Wave. The Surge being the big brother, the cool older cousin, whatever you want to call it. It is an iconic tool that I absolutely love. It feels fantastic in the hand. It's the one-handed opening. Look at how great this plier head looks. It's just a great tool, and it is significantly better than the Bibury in some ways. Now, the Bibury is fantastic in its own right. Look at the plier head on that. I think it's even bigger than on the Leatherman. It's just great. I've really enjoyed using it over the last week. I'm going to keep using it. I love this tool. I plan on keeping the Bibury forever. I think this is going to be one of those tools, like I've called my Leatherman Mutt, a generational tool. I plan on passing this on to a kid or a grandkid someday. I would have no problem giving this to my daughter when she goes on a trip somewhere, takes a road trip, goes on vacation. This is a tool that will work and work well. I fixed my car with it the other day. I've tightened a bunch of screws around the house just on handles that needed some work. I've been testing the knife and it's just fantastic. I like this tool a lot. In fact, I love this tool and I'm going to keep this tool. Now, am I going to keep the Leatherman Surge? Unfortunately, no, I don't think so. I don't think financially it makes sense to keep this over this. I don't think this is worth $150 or is worth $110 more than this. If this didn't exist, I think this would be it. But the knockoffs do exist now, and the knockoffs have gotten really, really good. And I plan on keeping the knockoff. Maybe, you know, can I afford the Surge? Yeah, I can. But is it worth it? I'm not sure. But honestly, part of it is I really like this bit kit. I love the Surge. If I got it as a gift, I would absolutely keep it. Am I going to spend my own $150 on it? I don't think so. I really don't. Am I going to keep the Bibury? Absolutely, I'm going to. Maybe buy a few more multi-tools and compare them to this, but now this is going to be what I compare other multi-tools to. I really like this tool and I will keep you guys apprised of it, but for the moment, the Bibury XLT Pro is the one to have, especially if you're going to throw it into a glove box of a car and not use it regularly. Especially being $40, you can give it to a kid and not stress out if they were to lose it. It might even become my standard gift to boys for their birthday. When we have to go to a kid birthday and the kid's like turning 13, having his bar mitzvah, I like to give multi-tools, and I think this is going to be the one that I start to give now. Maybe it's a little too big for small hands, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe if you want, and have a great day. Thank you. Affiliate link in the description below.